Thank you guys all for your support and getting us to this point. Couldn't do it without you. Want to give a big thank you to our sponsors. Cardinal Point Screen Print and Embroidery has hundreds of products for your business, sports team, or function. Upload your logo or start your design today at cardinalpointscreenprint.com. Jacob, that's my guy. He's helped us out with all of our needs, merch-wise. Love the sweatshirt, rock it all the time. Yeah, he's the best. Especially if you have a men's league team. I know in New England it's huge to have custom jerseys for like pond hockey or just your rec league. So he can do it all. So definitely hit him up. There's a link for his service on our website if you scroll down to the bottom. Also, Gage Pelletier, a member of HYHA family, has been battling cancer. He's been going through chemotherapy and is recovering from amputation surgery. There's an amazing fundraiser happening right now at cardinalpointscreenprint.com. You can buy Team Gage hats and sweatshirts in support. So, Gage, big fans of you. So hopefully you're doing good. Yeah, Team Gage sweatshirts are awesome. It's got like the hockey strings in it, kind of ties it back to that hockey sense. But we're pulling for you, and if there's anything you need, let us know. Also, finally, want to give out a shout out to our last sponsor, Burger Bar, 231 Colchester Parkway, Colchester, Vermont. Use promo code BIGTIMEBURGER with an A for 10% off your next online purchase. Excludes alcohol. Frontier Burger. I know it's not a burger, but it's a chicken sandwich. Mwah. The breading on that, phenomenal. It's made the same way that Chick-fil-A does it, and it's healthier. So, health nut. But yeah, and they have great milkshakes too. So definitely check them out. 231 College Parkway, Colchester, Vermont. Riley, how are we?
Doing good, brother. How are we? How are we doing?
Not too bad. Pretty crazy week, if I do say so myself.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Lots of stuff has happened this week to me. We will definitely dive into that a little bit later, but I do want to ask you, did you see that video I sent you with Bryce Hall and him like icing his knuckles?
Yep.
Oh, it's so funny. They're swinging at this guy who put the little foam helmet thingy
Yeah.
that boxers wear.
Sparring helmet. Yep.
Yeah. So the guy put it on, and they're like, "Okay, let's see who punches the hardest," and they're just like swinging at it. But my favorite part is literally when he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "I was punching yesterday. He goes, my hand started to hurt. I iced it, but we're good today." Like, oh,
Dude, first of all, bro, like, I think we're gonna talk about this kid every single week. I want to see him get knocked out so bad. Like, he's
oh,
actually fighting, bro.
yeah, but who? That's the real question.
Well, here's what I did find this week. So my brother is big into like the Nelk Boys and stuff like that, and like Steve will do it, and Bradley Martin and like guys like that. Like he loves watching them on YouTube. So he sends me this video. It's like 20 minutes long. Bradley Martin video, and basically it was YouTubers versus TikTokers and like boxing, right?
Oh yes,
Dude, it was like it
pathetic.
was so bad. Like I'd rather watch Dora than watch these guys fight each other, bro.
Just a bunch of these.
Dude, it's unbelievable how embarrassing it is. And like all these guys are getting like they're not even hitting each other, dude.
Oh
The
yeah.
only reason why they're falling down is because they're so tired. Because all they're used to is doing these stupid dances and
Just ripping the jewel and doing
yeah,
dances all day
exactly,
long.
bro. Exactly. It's so embarrassing. I'm like, two of the kids are actually gonna be like on the card that
Oh,
Bryce Hall's on for this fight. I don't understand. Like who is picking these guys up?
did he say he's getting $5 million to do
I
this
heard it was two.
too?
I heard it was
I'm
two.
surprised someone's paying this much to
I
watch
heard it
this
was
fight.
two for the fight, and then I heard that he was getting like a certain I don't know what the percentage was of the pay-per-view. I mean, I'm not paying to watch it. If my buddy's
Nah, fuck that. I'd rather
gonna pay
stream it
for it.
illegally on Reddit.
Exactly. It's not even worth it, bro.
No, I didn't even watch.
I'm like embarrassed to say that I'm gonna watch it, but I just have to because I have to see this kid. I want this
I'll
kid to
watch the highlights for sure
yeah,
after. I'm
dude.
not watching that live at all.
Well,
But
dude,
like,
did you see Ben Askren last night?
dude, speaking of YouTubers, Jake Paul and Ben Ask, poor Ben. You know what's really funny is Joe Rogan kind of called it. He goes, yeah, he kind of looks out of shape.
Looks out of shit. Dude, he looks brutal.
Oh,
He looks like some of the guys that come and play men's league.
his body, he's a milk body.
It was brutal, dude.
That's that's the shitty part is like that really hurts his career.
Bro, I mean, what was left of his career? He didn't really have much left of his career to begin with.
Yeah,
This kind of could have been like a turning point, maybe, if you want to start like being serious about it. But dude, he didn't even. I don't even think he really like. I think he was just in this for the money.
100%. I don't think he trained one
Because, dude,
second.
they said too. Somebody was talking about like his attitude, like before the fight, like in the locker room and stuff, and he was talking about like Bitcoin going down. Like he wasn't even concerned. Like I really think he thought he was just gonna walk all over this guy, and I
Oh yeah.
think that it was just one lucky punch that landed pretty square on him, and he hasn't been hit in a while, man. He hasn't fought in a while.
No, and he's a wrestler. He's not. Joe Rogan said it too. He goes, "Well, he's not really a boxer. He's a
No,
wrestler.
no,
He's really
exactly,
good at taking guys down. Like
exactly. And
that's
like
how he wins.
if you look at his MMA career, it's all his wins are by
Submission.
submission. Exactly.
Yeah. So like, you're already out of your element. I mean, Conor McGregor went over to boxing, and granted, I think he'd still beat Jake Paul, but he fought Floyd Mayweather, and that's gonna be. Isn't Floyd fighting his brother?
Yeah, I think so.
That's gonna be the real tale of the tape. Is like, Floyd, why are you doing this? Like, I hope you train because if you lose, this is not a good look for
Nah, dude.
fighters fighting YouTube stars because that's 0-2 right now.
No,
But
honestly,
like Floyd, what are you doing? Like seriously,
I know.
like
I think he's just gonna. I think he's just doing it to shut him up because this guy's been beaking so much, dude. Like for months now, just nonstop, just calling out like the biggest fighters ever.
oh yeah, I
You know what I
can't
mean?
wait. I hope. I mean, Floyd's just gonna literally just tire him out, and then when it's time, he'll just do what he did to Connor all
Dude,
over
like,
again.
where did this come from, though? Like, where did these guys get this idea of just
They're
boxing all of a sudden?
Disney Channel stars. That's the craziest
Yeah,
part.
I know, but like, why boxing? Like, why? Like, where did this come from? Like, this is crazy now.
I saw a video like this was probably like 3 years ago, and they were just doing like the YouTube vlogs and pranks, like ding dong ditching, and now he's like
Exactly. Oh
training to
yeah,
be a boxer
yeah.
and like trying to be serious all of a sudden. Like I guess that's what money
And
buys
trying to
you.
be hard, like trying to be like a tough guy.
Yeah, they got
These kids don't
everyone's got the
even
cross. Everyone rocks the
exactly, exactly.
cross.
Everyone's got the cross, and I think Bryce Hall's got a cross dangling from his ear too, which
Oh,
is
rip that
not
off
a
his
not a,
face.
not a great look.
Every fake tough guy has to have the cross. I swear.
Yeah.
It's just like, what, you're not Catholic. When's the last time you went to church, dude? Get the fuck out of here. You're not tough. But who do you think McGregor fights him?
Dude, I'm a huge McGregor fan, even though his career is, I mean,
It's
money
kind of
wise, money wise,
burnt toast, but
yeah,
he
money wise,
cashed
he's the king.
out.
He's the king with just how much money and he made and how fast he made it.
Oh,
But
sickening.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he does it because, dude, honestly, like,
He
I,
doesn't
I
need to.
he doesn't need to, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, it makes me nervous.
Well, if his brother beats Floyd, which I hope doesn't really happen, because that won't look good
Nah,
for
dude, he won't.
Connor.
There's
I,
no way. There's no way.
I don't think so. I guarantee you that kid gets tired out by like the third. Probably.
Exactly.
I give him 5 rounds. How long did Connor last? 7?
Was it 7?
Is it
When did
12 rounds? Are there 12 rounds in boxing? I
12
should
rounds of
probably know
boxing.
this.
I wanna say it was around there. I don't really remember.
I bet if whatever Connor made it to, subtract like 4 rounds. And I
Yeah,
think that's where like Logan Paul
yeah,
gets toppled off. And
dude.
yeah, we'll clip that for post fight when I call that because I think
Uh,
I'm 100%. I feel like I'm on it.
yeah, I like that. I think that's a good assessment. I do want McGregor to fight though, but I really hope that he brings it and just absolutely trucks this guy like he did to Jose Aldo. First like 15, 20 seconds, just done.
Oh,
That's
I
what I
would
would
love
do.
to see him. Yeah, but he'd only box him though. He would never UFC fight him, which kind
No,
of
he would never
sucks.
because he'd be dead.
Oh my god,
He'd be dead.
he'd have his neck like this. He's tap tap. You gonna stop making YouTube videos? Just arm wrapped around his
Yeah.
neck. You gonna stop making YouTube videos? You and your brother gonna shut up?
Dude, Jake Paul got 65 mil for that fight, dude.
Jesus. Did you see, speaking of which, I forgot to ask you, did you see that TikTok where the kid snuck in?
Snuck in where and to the fight?
Snuck in VIP to that fight.
Really?
Yeah, so he photoshopped the like basically like the poster. So it had like Jake Paul on like the left and I forget what's the other guy's name?
Ben Askren.
Yeah, Aspirin on the right. Photoshopped it, laminated it, and then got like a lanyard, walked right through, and he was on the Jake Paul side. Jake Paul fan side with like his brother and like Justin Bieber was there, Snoop Dogg was there. Like he got to like party with all these celebrities. He walked right in. He just flashed it. Then he let him right in.
Dude, other thing too. Did you hear these announcers that were announcing this fight? What a joke they were.
No, how
You have to
bad?
go back. You have to go back and just listen to what they were saying.
That bad?
Yeah, I muted it.
Have you ever heard when they do like Rough and Rowdy and they do the announcing?
Yeah,
It's,
that
it's
no, that's a comedy show.
Yeah, that stuff's fucking Big Cat announcing kills me.
Hysterical.
It's so good, but yeah, you got like midgets fighting, you got just the
Crazy,
creatures they
crazy.
find. And they're all from like West Virginia.
I know, I know.
You ever seen that show Moonshiners?
Yeah,
Like all from West Virginia, they're all
right out of
toothless
the
and like they have
woods.
like subtitles underneath them when they talk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he probably didn't make it to the 12th grade. Speaking of huge celebrities, Elon Musk's girlfriend, huge weirdo for starters. I mean this picture of her new tattoo, it's just like scratch marks on her back
And they're
and
red. They're like red.
red. That's the thing. It's like it looks like someone dug their fingernails into it. It looks like it looks so fucking painful. And then the captions like ready to colonize Mars. Like fuck. This girl isn't. If you haven't looked up Elon Musk's girlfriend, look up Grimes. If you're listening to this, this girl is a weirdo. Which makes sense because I'm pretty sure Elon's girlfriend, or Elon himself, is an alien because there is very little proof of that guy being a human being. I mean, come on. Like, who thinks of this? Like a plane taking off and landing? Have you ever seen this rocket?
Dude, yeah, well, just the fact that he's like a normal guy, like me. Well, I wouldn't say that, but like you know what I mean. Like he's not.
He's smoking pot with Joe Rogan.
He's not like he doesn't work for NASA, and the fact that first of all, the fact that he has the money to do this is just mind blowing.
Oh my
Like,
god.
dude, like he wants people to literally live in outer space, like in a hotel. Like, what?
Yeah. How about the first hotel that's going to be like functional in outer space is like 2030? Like, what? We're going to take vacations to outer space?
I want to know how much money. How long do you think it takes to get up there?
Maybe like an hour. I mean, have you ever watched those launches
Yeah,
live? It's pretty
insane.
fun.
Yeah.
That thing like rips through the. Have you ever seen the test flights? It looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a
It goes
missile.
like this, and then it just levels off and drops, and then just like lands itself, cools off, and they brush it off. And yep, okay, let's do it again.
Insane, man.
Speaking of UFOs, do you see that thing going around like a week ago?
No, we got
Pentagon
UFO sightings?
Pentagon released UFOs, baby.
Really?
These ones are pretty legit. It's like they're in a triangle pattern, like clear as day. And the crazy part is, I mean, if you told me that I'd be watching Fox and CNN and they'd be talking about UFOs like with seriousness, I'd tell you you're crazy. Like,
The world's over. It's ending. It's
yeah,
done.
I mean, why at this point, what's next? I mean,
Yeah, this is it.
seeing everything, you might as well start chain smoking now because it doesn't really matter what's gonna happen 10 years from now. We're lucky if we're alive.
This is it.
Oh my god! You know what the scariest part is? So I recently took a couple edibles and I went down a wormhole this weekend on YouTube. Have you ever seen like the history of planet Earth? Like
No.
there's extinctions after extinctions after extinctions.
Well, yeah.
And the world is literally every time heating up, cooling down, and I go, oh fuck, this looks real familiar. I go, it's like the craziest part to me is like we're probably closer towards the tail end like of an extinction than we are like in the beginning. If you know what I mean, like at a time scale from
Bro,
like the last
100%.
extinction.
Dude, like you're freaking me out now. Now I'm thinking about this.
Dude, it's pretty fucked up and you're like you look at a map like the last extinction we were in to now you're like yeah, we're probably on the tail end of like this. You're probably not in the middle, like
Oh
so,
my god,
and you
dude.
know you're not at the start of this fucking thing. So you go, oh shit. So we're probably closer towards the end than
And
we
like,
are at
dude,
the beginning.
what you just said too. It's just one thing after the next too. Like,
Yeah, and it's like oh, this is the Mesozoic era where it rained for 2 million years on planet Earth. I go, that's fucking miserable. Like the like, and it's just literally it's like a it literally repeats itself every time. It's so wild because it literally like it'll be ice cold, ice age, ice age, ice age. Then it starts to heat up. There's like a like what happens is the ozone gets like too much oxygen or something like that. I know I'm gonna get crucified because of science, but like it then releases, and so like vegetation starts, and because it's so moist, it really starts to fucking grow, and like that's how like all the shit starts to form, and and then like you have literally the craziest part is we're just like whatever's left that couldn't be extinct. So like you have like these reptilians that are like swimming and then eventually it becomes like too overpopulated and there's no
yeah.
like there's like nothing for them to feed and then they
Bro,
start to
I'm
die
glad you
off.
said that. I'm glad you said that. Things that can't be extinct. Things like we talked about last week. The guys in the submarines.
Oh yeah. Yeah, wouldn't mind being those guys right about
Yeah.
now. But yeah, it's crazy when you start to like look at this time period and you're like, wow, we are really just like evolution. We are like literally evolution like on this thing. Like it's pretty the chicken and the egg, it's literally like, yeah, you were an organism and then cuz like for the longest time there was like a period of darkness where if you know what a sponge is? It's literally just like kind of like moss but in the water, and that's like all I could live for
That
like
was
two
it.
million years.
That
And
was it.
then that got over like done and they all died off and then something else came in and then like another and then like the earth started heating up and it had like a shit ton of volcanoes and stuff and it's pretty wild and it's even more crazier when you're on baked out of your fucking brain on edible because I just start piecing this shit together. I go, oh yeah, so we're probably closer towards extinction than we are. I go, oh, that makes so much more sense that Elon wants to get off this planet because you know
It
we're
might be
gonna
time.
either ride or die with this thing, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna look pretty.
Yeah. Crazy, bro.
And then you start thinking about space, and you're like, well, what's gonna happen if we find mass graves of fossils on other planets? How much shit your pants are we gonna be in that? Like, and then you start thinking about like how Earth like started to like to just like had these like cycles of just like covered in water, covered in ice, and you kind of think of how it's formed, and then you're like, oh, so Mars is basically gonna turn into Earth again. And then I started thinking about uh, like the craziest part is we don't know how the book of our lives started and ended. We only just know like the middle chapter.
Yeah, dude. It's
Isn't that
wild.
shit wild? But yeah, that was
That's
basically run through.
definitely
What?
something to think about for the listeners here.
Oh my god, yeah, that'll keep you up at night for sure thinking about this. Now you're like, oh fuck, I better get that life insurance policy. Maybe that bunker, isn't a bad idea right
Yeah.
about now. And
Jesus.
then you're like, well, if you die, like, do you really want to hang out when it's just you on planet Earth? It'd be kind of lonely.
Exactly. Damn, man.
Rather go. I'd rather die with my ass facing everyone. The world can kiss my ass. But yeah. So speaking of which, Elon Musk's girlfriend, huge weirdo, and then it just led to an absolute rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. I mean, that girl put me in a pretzel reading these captions. So if you do have a chance, definitely check that out. And speaking of celebrities, have you seen Mark Wahlberg's new TV show, Wall Street?
I haven't, but sad news with the Wahlberg family today. I think his mom passed away today. Did you see that?
No, really?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck, that
yeah.
sucks.
She was a beauty.
Oh, she was the best part
Dude,
about
isn't
that
there like
TV show.
there's like 9 of them? Aren't there a lot of them?
Yeah, huge Irish family. I think their dad might be absent or not in the
Nah,
pictures.
that's right. I think you're right. I think he is absent because the mom raised him.
Yeah, that sucks. That's tough.
Yeah, she was awesome. I used to watch that
Especially,
show, Wahlburgers, all the time.
oh, unbelievable show. So,
Unreal.
like,
You ever
Wall
been there?
Street? What?
Have you ever been to that restaurant in Boston?
No, is it good? I
I've
see it
never
all the
been there.
time.
I've never been there. I think there might be one on Long Island somewhere. I don't know where though. Not anywhere close.
On Wall Street. So it's about Mark Wahlberg and like him doing his acting and like being an entrepreneur, starting like all these businesses. So he has a clothing company. He's got Wahlburgers. He's got a production company, and so they like put Wahlburgers up in London, and it's like failing. I'm like, dude, yeah, no shit. London people don't like our food. How can a guy like that have so much money and like like it's pretty like empowering like kind of cause since we're going through the process, but like you see this guy's business moves, you're like, whoa, let's why would you start a clothing company, man? It's like, and like his clothing company is trying to go against like Lululemon and stuff. Like I
Really?
get it, like Barstool has clothing, but it's nowhere near like a Lululemon, but it sells because it's funny and people can really like connect to it, and
Yeah.
it's like you're not wearing it like for fashion. You're wearing it for fun, you know?
Yeah.
Or like his clothing company is like trying to like look like a Lululemon basically. It's like no one wants
That's
to
tough.
pay like two
That's
hundred
tough.
dollars. Yeah, no one wants to pay $200 for like a Mark Wahlberg clothing company. I'd rather buy the Saturdays are for the boys T-shirt for 30.
Exactly. Dude, he's probably just bored, honestly, man.
His house so sick.
Sick.
He's got a golf course in his backyard.
Unreal. I'm a big fan of his, man. He doesn't make a bad movie either.
He's the man. He's so
He
badass.
is jacked too.
Jacked. He's 50 years old. He's crushing it. I mean, his production company kills it. Like they did McMillions. Obviously, they did Wall Street, which is sick. I like. You got to watch it. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
I'm up to season episode 7, and it's like going through the pandemic and everything too. And he has like all those restaurants that are like
Just
basically,
failing.
yeah. It's just like it's crazy. This poor guy is going through so much at like the worst time. Like, and he's doing it like in between like making a movie too. Like so like in between like takes, he's like doing like business meetings.
Unreal.
So he like doesn't stop, and he gets up at 2:30 in the morning, and he has a sort of like filming in London, and he has his whole hotel room converted to a gym with his personal like equipment.
That's insane.
And it's like he's just like ripping weights at 2:30 a.m. He goes to
Oh,
bed at
and he
7.
wears does he wear the gloves still and he works out?
Oh yeah, he's got his trainer there. He's got his boys. They're all just crushing weights.
Yeah.
Imagine he goes to bed at 7:30. I'm like, imagine like I feel like people do business meetings after like 5. Like, what do you do for dinner meetings? Guess just
If they don't happen.
yeah. I would love to know like a day what it's like for him like on set. Like, how does he like? Because you just they film at all different times of the day. So like,
You
how
ever
does he like?
see you ever see Lone Survivor?
Yeah, sick movie.
Sick movie. You got to watch on YouTube like the making of that movie.
Why do
And
they just go to like Navy SEAL camp and just get?
well, a lot like Mark Luttrell, the actual guy.
Mhm.
He basically who was the director there? Was it what's his name?
Pete Berg.
Peter Berg. And Peter Berg wanted to do the movie. There was a bunch of directors that wanted this story to make a movie about. So
Yeah,
Marcus went around and met with each one of these guys. And obviously, Peter Berg is phenomenal, and he's made
yeah.
similar movies in the past. And I guess that's how that's how they ended up giving him the script or whatever for the movie. And Mark Luttrell told him, he's like, listen, if you mess this up, I'm gonna kill you. And he was dead serious, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, Peter Berg did a really good job. He brought Marcus in, a bunch of his buddies in to to train these guys and to make it look as real as possible. And the making of it. It's like a couple, like a 3 or 4 part video.
Yeah.
It's just like it's all them learning how to move and look and act like actual Navy SEALs. And like you watch the movie and you really like believe like that the actors in that movie and even like the scenes, like it's
Are really
so real
authentic.
and authentic. And like Marcus even said, he's like, that's as close as you could get to putting what happened to me and my buddies on the screen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Well, I
really
heard.
cool.
Have you ever seen like the intro to Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I heard this guy was talking, he brought his or like his father with him.
Jack Carr, Joe Rogan podcast. Is that where you heard it?
I think so. And the guy left. He's like, I could smell the motor oil.
I can smell diesel. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was. I actually, dude, I just listened to that last night. It's so funny.
that's so fucked up. Like how
Crazy.
that movie is like the most badass. I love that movie so
Yeah.
much. It's on Netflix right now. You gotta rip it.
Yep.
Plus the cast, sick.
Sick.
You know who's a
Tom
real
Hanks, too.
sicko for like doing their own stunts? Tom Cruise. Have you ever seen his like behind the scenes?
Yeah, he's a lunatic. Well, I'm glad you said that. Hold on one second. Let me shut this door. Top Gun 2 is coming out.
Oh fuck yeah! I forgot. Wasn't that supposed to come out like earlier? But like
Yeah,
I'm guessing the pandemic fucked it.
COVID. Yeah. So, dude, that's another thing you gotta watch. Like, watch the trailers to that. He does like all like the films of the planes. Actually, not all of them. Probably like 90% of them.
Yeah.
They're actually in fighter jets.
Oh really?
Yeah, and like Tom Cruise had to like train himself because obviously, like, if you and I went in the cockpit of an
Dude,
F-18 right
pass
now,
out from the G-force.
either we'd pass out or we throw up or we do both.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I mean I don't even like flying commercial, so you can already tap me
Yeah,
out for this
exactly.
one. No,
Yeah,
no
but
fucking
yeah,
way.
when it comes to like doing your own stunts, that guy is just in a league of his own.
He. How about? Did you ever see the one where he's attached to the side of the fucking plane on takeoff?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You gotta be a
Oh, he's having
sick
no fear.
motherfucker. And it's all for like Mission Impossible too. It's like, dude, come on, you made 1,000 of those. You can really tap out. You're like
Yeah,
50.
exactly.
And he's like on the side of this thing, holding on for dear life.
Dude, he hasn't made a bad movie either. I mean, Top Gun is probably in my top 3 favorite. I could
Oh,
watch that movie
unbelievable.
anytime it's on. I'm ripping it.
You know, it's a
I know.
secret I love. Secret kind of hidden gem. Night and Day.
Yeah,
I love it. Pies. Pies for everyone.
yeah. What
That's a
else was he
great
in?
one.
What's the one who was a Few Good Men was unbelievable.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
lawyer.
those are real classics. I mean,
Classics. Yeah,
Big Steve Big Steve knows Tom Cruise pretty well cuz you know Tom Cruise and Emilio Estevez, they're like
yeah,
best friends.
yeah.
And Big Steve was on the movie Repo Man with Emilio Estevez. So Tom Cruise was hanging out with those guys and he was a
Sick.
nobody. Like, oh yeah, that's Tom. Don't bother. Like, how
That's wild.
crazy is that? He knows a bunch of guys in the industry that were like nobodies at the
Yeah,
time,
I
like
bet.
Ray Ramone's brother, you know, the tall one,
Yeah,
and like Courtney Cox. They're all in like acting class together.
that's wild.
And then George Clooney, his like right hand man, uh, Big Steve's like really good friends with because they used to work in the limousine business together, and
That's
like he
unbelievable.
owned it for a while, and then like George Clooney became famous, so he like started his own production company and brought him over. So he knows like a ton of people in the industry. It's pretty wild.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'll watch this guy climb up this thing.
What we got a cat in the room right now.
Wheeling up this bed. But yeah, speaking of Big Steve, though, I got a good rant for you.
Let's hear it.
I know you've been juicing all
I
day
can't
waiting
wait.
for this
This is my favorite.
iTunes story. So, Big Steve, did I ever talk about his stupid iPod that
Yep.
he keeps
Yep.
bugging me
Oh yeah,
about?
big time, big
Oh
time.
yeah. So finally, so I upgraded my singular plan for iTunes to the family plan, and it made you wait till like the next time you like read up your
Yeah, I
account.
remember last time we talked, we were waiting. We were still waiting.
Yeah. So finally got read up, right? So I go on the settings and like basically what you do is you send an invite to the person. So I sent an invite to his phone and it comes in with like a link, and you click on the link and it pulls up like the family share, and then you have like accept or decline. So I hit accept, doesn't work. I keep doing it, like I keep trying, doesn't work. So I'm like, all right, fuck this. It's such a process. So I'm like, all right, let me just, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I only have a little bit of time. So I call up iTunes, right? I'm like, they can help. They can help. They can get this solved in like 2 seconds. So I get the first level. I get level 1. I didn't know there was levels to this customer service game. So I get level 1. I'm like, and I guess level 1's just like, yeah, basically the bare minimum assistance ever. So they're like, yeah, have you tried turning the phone off and on? You're like, yeah, does that ever do anything? I swear to God, that doesn't do anything.
There's nothing.
Yeah,
I
it's
just I think everyone thinks that way though, because I do it all the time.
yeah, like it's just such BS. So I do the stupid turn off. They're like, oh, have you sent the invite? Yeah, no, did that. That was way back before step 1. So she can't help me. So she goes, let me transfer you. I'm just the first level. Let me transfer you
Yep,
to level
there you
2.
go. Yep.
So I'm like, all right. So I get to level 2. Same fucking route, right? So she's like, okay, well, let me send you a link so I can screen share your phone, right? So I'm like, all right, no problem. Let's do this. So I screen share my phone, and because I knew in my head, I was like, I don't have anything bad on it. Like, this is perfect, right? So I knew I was covered. So she's like, all right, let's go to your settings. So I go to my settings. Do you know when you open up your iPhone, you know how like it'll have like your iTunes like identification where it's like your first, last name, and then like your iTunes account
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, like
attached
your
to?
Apple ID will be at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have a little picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so I forgot I changed that picture. Now, do you remember there was a certain meme going around about last year at this time with a African American feller sitting on a bed? You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah, so I forgot as a joke. I took that photo and I put it as my picture for my iTunes ID because in my head I was like, "Oh, this will change on everyone's phones, so it'll be pretty funny when they like scroll through and they go, "Who the fuck's this guy?" Right? So I forgot I had that as my thing, so the whole time we're going through the iTunes account. It's literally that guy. And it's just his face with the smirk because I cropped it around his head perfectly. And for starters too, I forgot to tell you. So my iTunes account I made back in like I think like the 6th grade. And this was at a time where like Gmail probably just started, right?
Yeah.
You didn't really know email at all. So I made it. And like the time I made this iTunes, do you remember getting like iTunes gift cards and like
Yeah.
buying like the songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a big deal. So like to get songs in your iPod. So I made my email, you needed to email to link your iTunes at the time. I made it yourmomhot@gmail.com. And like I never changed it just because it's at a certain point it's just like too hard to change. You just don't want to like it's gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Especially with like the cloud too. Like I would lose like all my photos and stuff. So like not only do I have the black guy meme, and then I got yourmomhot@gmail.com. So I'm like, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? So I'm clicking and and so she's like, all right. She's like, what kind of she's like, can you send the phone to your dad's phone? I go, yeah, but let me give you a disclaimer. I'm a normal human being and have an iPhone. He has an Android, so like it might not work. So she's like, all right, it's not gonna work unless I share like my camera, so that way she can look onto his phone. So we I log on to his phone, and she's like, why don't you close the windows on his phone so like to like reset it? So I go hit all. It's like Pornhub, 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 Pornhub. She's like, hit clear all, hit clear all, hit clear all. So I'm like, oh my god, like I hit clear all. It's like Just like all the apps are gone. I'm like, because I don't know how to work an Android, so I'm like, I'm at the mercy of this thing.
Yeah, dude.
Looking at it, it's just like Pornhub, Pornhub, Pornhub. I'm like trying to swipe. Like, oh, thank God it's not my phone. Oh God. So yeah, eventually, pretty much shocked her, and never got resolved. So
I
now,
wonder why. So she was on the other line with the FBI.
yeah, basically. So so she said she was gonna call me back, and we didn't get to connect. I think we got disconnected. Maybe she forgot my number. But so I'm like, well, fuck this. Like I'm already like, I'm not dealing with this stupid iPod ever again, right? So I went
Yeah,
and just
can I
bought him
stop you right now?
Spotify.
Just say one thing.
What?
All this for that stupid, for this stupid iPod, bro.
Yeah, all
All
this,
this.
and I get shelled with this bullshit with the Apple people. And how about so I get a great suggestion. They're like buy him Spotify. It's pretty cheap. I go buy him Spotify. It's $10. It's the same price. So now I pay for the family plan for iTunes and a Spotify account.
Family
Uh,
plan, which you only use, like,
yeah, which I only use that I
and
bought.
you're getting him the same exact thing and buying him Spotify.
Oh yeah. Also, he can play Adele. But if I
Oh,
get one more question on the weekend when he goes, "Can you help me with my iPod?" I'm gonna. It's so worth the $10 extra.
did he drop the whole iPod thing though? I thought the whole point was because he loved this iPod.
Yeah, he's off it, and now he won't shut up about Spotify. He goes,
Good.
he goes, now I really understand why people got rid of the iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah, been trying to get you on that fucking thing for like 20 years. Why don't you get an iPhone too, so we can have the one plan?
Wow. Thank God, dude. Wow.
I don't have to pay. Literally, I'm paying $25 for music a month.
But
I'm like,
like, and how many times a week? I'm not even gonna say a day because I'm sure there are days where you don't even listen to, like, how often are you listening to music?
besides having to make that Thursday playlist, only when I golf. Other time, because I need a break from music. You know,
Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. I barely listen to music.
like I like it
I
when
gotta be doing something. I gotta be doing something like either working, like when I'm working out in the yard or working out or
yeah.
in the car. I'm not even a big like I don't even like I mean my phone is obviously like wired to my car, but like I just throw the radio on. I don't even listen to it though, you know?
I like it when they talk. It breaks it up. Like I like listening to like people talking. It probably sounds so fucked up, but like it's nice. It's a nice
Yeah.
break. It like puts you at ease because then you're just like you don't have to like think about anything. Like you don't have to jam out. You're just so relaxed.
Yeah, I hear you.
That or I took like the greatest nap to I fell asleep to Joe Rogan's podcast. It's like the
Every
perfect
night.
podcast to
I
nap
do
to.
that every single night. I'm not even
Oh,
kidding, every night. Him and Jocko Willem too. I listen to them every night.
oh yeah.
The
Pass
best.
right out. It's great. Knocks you out cold.
Yeah.
But rant time. You got any good rants for us?
Yeah. I couldn't wait for this part of the show here. Um, Basically, I now understand because my father has been around. Actually, I got news about my dad too. He's stepping back into coaching. So big shout out
Oh
to
yeah.
George coaching the 2008 PAL Junior Islanders. So I don't know what he's thinking. I guess he's pretty bored and wants to get back into it. But happy for him. He's super excited about it, taking it super seriously. I love it. It's just so funny, so
Got
funny.
got the
My
got the
mom
got
hates
the
him.
drills already lined up.
Yeah, I got the drills lined up. My mom's pissed, but it'll be good for him, I think. And obviously, he coached me and my brother all the way up, so I think he was just itching to get back into it. And perfect time. I'm going to college, and Cole's playing junior still, so got nothing really to do, you know.
Yeah.
It's just work, and I'm happy for him. He's gonna be back on the ice. But now I know, dude, like youth hockey, man. I've been working at the rink, as you know,
Oh yeah.
and youth hockey is such a circus, dude.
The parents are the worst.
Yeah. So my Saturday went like this, right? 8:45 a.m. was the start, and my dad's got a clinic, and you know, perfect. I love being out there because I just go out there, shoot pucks, hang out with the kids. Kids, whatever. It's perfect. It's easy.
Put
It's
on a
easy money.
show.
Yeah, it's easy money. Then I go on the there's 2 rinks. I go on the other side right after that clinic ends, and I do house league. So the first house league I had was mites, easy. I
Yeah.
literally made them skate in a circle, and then they scrimmage. That's it.
Toss the puck in the corner.
Exactly. Exactly. So then the woman who runs all this house league and like all the hockey operations at the rink is my aunt. And she
Yeah.
comes up to me and she says, "Do you and your brother want to ref a game, a square game, house league, mind you? This is house
Yes.
league,
Easy
right?
money.
Easy money, right?" She's like, and she said to me, "Don't even blow the whistle that much, like unless it's like blatant offsides or they're fighting each other. Don't blow the whistle." And I'm like, "I'm with you, perfect, right?"
I like it. Let's make these quick.
So I'm out there, right? And I knew it was gonna be a problem because one team's got just 2 dads that are opening the door. Right, these aren't even coaches. I wouldn't even say these guys aren't coach. They're parents, right? This is house league. These kids are 9 and 10 years old. It's house league,
Yeah.
dude. Right? Saturday morning house league.
They don't even know
12 minute
what's going
periods.
on.
Yeah, 12-minute periods. Half these kids, actually, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. More than half these kids don't even want to be there. They're just there because their parents signed them up.
Dragged them.
Exactly. So there's one little good. That's one little guy. He's a good player on this one team, and on the other team they weren't too strong, and they had a couple guys that could like barely skate. Right, I knew this was going to be a problem the second I stepped on the ice and I saw that there was 4 parents on the other bench. Right, so I knew this team was going to be a problem.
Oh,
Right, he's bringing them into the board. He's doing face-off plays with them.
what a hardo.
Right. So first period goes by quick. Second period, this little guy now he's ripping it up, and like they're starting to get a little chippy. But like when you know how it is with these guys, we've done it for years at the elite.
Oh yeah.
Like they run into each other, like they're not actually trying to hit each other.
Yeah,
They're
they
just
just can't stop.
exactly. They got no control, right? So this kid, he runs into somebody like he's buzzing around and no one can stop him, and then bam, he runs into a kid that's bigger than him, and the bigger kid actually got the worst of it, and it was into the board, so it looked kind of ugly, right?
Yeah.
I was standing right there, and I don't blow the whistle, and I knew that this is where things were gonna go south, right? I'm getting screamed at by four coaches, right?
Oh
At
yeah.
10:30 in the morning, right, on a Saturday
Oh.
in a house league game, right? So I'm just trying to ignore it, and they keep going. So I skate over. I finally had enough. I skate over, and I literally looked at them. I said, "Guys, this is house league. Relax."
It's not the NHL.
They didn't take that too well, so now they're going crazy, right? So this is what I do. I absolutely sewered my brother. I go the other side, other end of the boards. My brother, I leave my brother there. So now I see my brother. This guy has my brother. Like he's standing by like the stanchion, and my brother's like along the boards, and
Yeah.
this guy's just going right.
Yeah.
So next whistle, I skate over. I'm like, I'm not talking to you. And he's calling me ref. I go, I'm not a ref. I was in a warm up suit. I'm not a ref. He's like, that's a penalty. You got someone's gonna get hurt. I go, they're running into each other all over the ice. It wasn't a penalty. If he did it on purpose and it was blatant, I would obviously call it. I don't want anyone to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
And technically, that's my responsibility because I am the ref, right?
Yeah.
This guy just wouldn't let it go the entire game, right? He was going, and I finally went over to him, and I was like, I'm done talking to you. We're not. This is it. If you have a problem, go talk to Allison, right? Who's my aunt, who runs everything.
Yeah.
After the game, whatever. That team actually ends up winning. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, whatever.
I would have just started calling penalties.
Yeah, big question.
Fuck
But
this kid.
now,
Fuck this guy.
so now I'm waiting for the Zamboni to come out on the ice so I can push the nets against the boards. And I see this guy walking instead of walking around walking around, you don't know how, this guy walked across the ice. You could have just walked around, right?
Yeah.
Now he's on the ice and he's beaking at my brother. I go over there, and this guy starts off by saying, "I've been around hockey for a long time." I said, "Let me stop you right there. Where did you
Yeah.
play?" St. John the Baptist High School. I go, "Stop."
Oh
I just said,
God.
"Stop." I just said, "Stop."
You're a JV hero.
I said, "Stop." I was like, "Listen, guy, stop. Just stop. I can't even talk to you right now. This conversation's over. The game's over. You guys won. Everyone's happy. Let it go." This guy takes it a step further and then proceeds to tell me that he's a cop. Now I'm pissed. I said, "What is that? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be intimidated that you're a cop?" I said, "We're at a hockey rink right now.
Are
What
you
does
gonna
that have to do
arrest
with
me?
anything that you're a cop? What does that have to do with anything?"
Did you go? Yeah, firefighter. What's up?
Yeah, well, yeah, typical cop, right? This guy, he's got they just love letting nothing against cops. I'm obviously a huge cop supporter, but like, dude, it's just stereotypical
Oh yeah.
trying to
They
be a tough
always drop
guy.
that. They always drop that line at the most
Yeah,
convenient time,
yeah.
like, "Oh, you just because you know the law,
But
or how does this work?"
it gets even better, right?
Oh yeah.
I go into the office after the game and I say to my aunt, I said, "Listen, this guy wouldn't stop. He might complain. I don't know. I want to let you know I didn't. It's not my fault. I did nothing wrong. No one got hurt. It was fine. Everyone was happy. It was like 9-5 stat night for everybody, right? And this guy just wouldn't let it go because I didn't call a penalty because one of his players ran into somebody and right. Turns out this guy is my aunt's neighbor.
Oh
So she's like, "Don't worry about it. I got it handled." I took it a step further. I said, "Listen, next Saturday, I want to ref. I'm gonna ref every single one of this guy's games
yes.
for the rest of the season. For the rest of the season, and I'm not gonna touch my whistle once. Offsides, I don't care if they're offsides by a mile.
Just leave it.
I'm not doing it." But man, that's what we're dealing with nowadays. Like, there's no these
Biggest
people, man.
hardos.
It's not even their hardos. They just think they know, right? Everyone's a hockey expert, right? Their kid plays hockey, and all of a sudden they're a hockey coach.
Yep. Next thing you know, there's Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, this guy had the audacity to tell me he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's this guy was probably like 5'8", about 275.
Oh,
Probably
just a
couldn't
bowling
probably
ball.
couldn't walk in a straight line. This
You
guy.
know, in men's league, my favorite part is I've played in some pretty shitty men's leagues in
Yeah.
my career, and you'll get the guy that can't skate who's fanned on the puck 4 times, and then he yells at you. He goes, "You fucking suck." He's just like, "Yeah, I thought I was pretty good. You know, I played at a higher level, but that's okay." Or
That's
I'll get the guy who's literally head down the entire time, and he'll that's how he shoots too, right?
yeah.
And it comes to find out he's a ref. You're like, how the fuck are you reffing youth hockey anywhere besides like mites? Like, and they're like bantam and like high school refs. You're like, dude, you are so bad at hockey. How do you know the game?
No, they don't know the game, man. That's the problem. You take an online course, bang, you're a coach. Take an online course, bang, you're a ref.
Oh yeah, I heard the one by me is really easy. You do like 3 hours on the ice,
Yeah.
and if you can skate, you're like 90% better than like half of them.
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, these poor kids, man, that are coming up in the youth hockey system, especially on Long Island, man. I
I
mean,
think
that's
the
why I
hockey.
left. That's why I went to prep school, man. I mean, it's nothing against Long Island hockey, but it's just not good because you have people like that think they know,
Yeah,
and just like the good solid coaches, they're just this dying breed, man.
they just don't want to
Dying
deal with
breed.
parents. I had a
Yeah.
buddy who volunteered for a job like that, and it was like I was a travel team, and he's like, "You won't believe the parents are like, I got him asking me after on road trips to be like, can we sit down in your hotel room and possibly talk about how we can get little Johnny more playing time or better?" He's like, "Dude." He's like, "I'm just trying to rotate lines here. I don't care." Like, he's like, "I'm just trying to make it so everyone has fun." Like, if parents that are like trying to like they're like thinking about like college and they're like 8.
Yeah. I mean,
Re-
too, like my dad,
Relax.
man, like my dad, the stories, like as I've gotten older, obviously he's opened up about just certain things. Like when I was growing up playing, that happened like behind closed doors that I had no idea about.
A lot of politics.
A lot of politics, and like I literally looked at him. And I was like, "You should write a book, man. You
Oh,
should write a book. It'd be a bestseller."
someone someone should peel back the curtains on youth sports with like the politics and
Seriously, it's
the
crazy, man.
who thinks their kid's gonna be an all-star. It's
Dude, I
like,
mean, I remember growing up. We have I don't know if you played against them when you were growing up, but on Long Island you have PAL, which is the Junior Islanders now. But when I was growing up, it was just PIL. It switched over when I was like 14. I only played
What's the
like,
Gulls?
yeah, you got the Long Island Gulls, them, and you got the Royals,
Yeah,
all within
Royals.
all within like a 30-mile radius of each other. So the
Yeah,
biggest we didn't really play the Gulls too much. They were always good. The Royals were always good, and we were never great, but
yeah.
we had our moments, right? But I remember growing up, man, like playing the Royals was like Rangers Islanders, man, for youth hockey. And like these parents, for example, Robert Master Simone is at BU right now.
Yeah.
Played against him growing up. He's actually a year younger than me, but he played up. And he was always a Royal, and we were playing them, and something happened. He got hit and broke his collarbone. And for some reason, I was on the ice, but I mean, I was back then.
The parents went insane.
I was like 110, probably 100 pounds back then. Right?
Oh yeah.
I didn't do it. I wasn't even near the play where it happened. So we're coming off the ice, and the way the rink is, where the Royals play, you have to walk down, like walk past the stands, and then go down into a basement where the locker rooms are. Right?
Yeah.
There's a parent who wasn't even the parent of Master Simone. It was another parent on the team. And he looked at me and he literally got in my face and called me a piece of shit at like 12 years old.
Yeah. Like what
I
hard
was
ass.
like, I didn't even know what to, I mean, I was like, I didn't know if he was even talking to me, right? And so the assistant coach at the time was behind me. I heard him say it. Brawl.
Really?
Absolute brawl. It was a big deal. Like, had to go to meetings, Long Hockey League meetings, this, that, other thing. But like, dude, this is like, people are
It's a
crazy.
kid's sport. Relax. It's
Exactly.
Saturday morning. No one wants to be wearing. How about
It's-
we used to play in that tournament in is that like Exeter? And it
Yep.
was like you got guys that playing like the AHL and the Coast and a bunch of D1 guys.
Yep.
And like for me, I took it as a okay, let's have a nice little skate and let's get after it. But yeah, not the case. You had to really try hard. We had guys that are fighting at like 9 a.m. You're like, dude, I'm not fucking getting black and blues at 9 a.m. I want to go out to the bars tonight.
Junior hockey ended for me about 5 years ago. I'm not. There's no fighting.
Yeah, especially when it's summer. I'm like, for starters, I'm not trying to block shots and wear fucking punches. I'm trying to like, it's summer hockey. I'm just trying to get a nice little sweat in and then go out after.
Exactly. But yeah,
Oh,
man, just it's crazy just the direction things are going these days, man. It's just completely different. I mean, I wasn't.
I feel like they're using it as like this is our like big ticket item. If we invest now and he makes it to the show, then we're gonna be like loaded, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, that's how you burn kids out, man. Like,
Oh my god, I know a kid who's like working on cars now. He was an unbelievable hockey player. He was playing juniors before. He was in like 8th grade playing juniors, and his parents were psychopaths, and
yeah, just
he
rode
burnt
him in the
out
car.
real quick. He didn't make it past high school.
Exactly. I mean, dude, like for example, there's a guy, great guy too. I really like this guy. Uh, and he's always around the rink, and obviously he like everyone knows it's small. Everyone knows everybody,
Oh
So he
yeah,
knows I went to prep school, and like he knows my whole background, or whatever. So he comes over to me the other day, and he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "My son, he's talking to a couple prep schools. Like, what's your take, whatever." So I don't know the kid's son. I don't know how old he is, whatever. So I'm telling him whatever. And I'm like, I asked him at the end of the conversation, "How old's your son?" "Oh, he's a 2010 birth year."
oh my
Do
god,
that math. This guy's telling me his kid's getting recruited by prep schools, and he's 11 years old.
not next. No
Like
way.
that's just the mindset these people. That's what these people think
Oh
because you got an email to go to like a Mike clinic or Mike
yeah,
ski
to
or
his
Mike
camp
camp
where he's
at,
greasing you for three
at
hundred
New
bucks. He goes,
Hampton
yeah,
school.
you can learn all the tips and tricks like
Yeah,
my Yale
yeah,
players.
yeah, exactly,
$300, please.
exactly. It's crazy, man. It's really
There's
really
such a
crazy.
huge markup in like selling the shit to train kids because
Yeah,
the parents just eat it up.
eat it
Like,
up.
yep, we need these weights, we need everything. It's like, nah, just give them a bucket of pucks and a net. Let them sit outside and rip it. You don't need these personal trainers or dietitians. Your kid's 12 years old. Let them have candy. It doesn't affect them.
It's unbelievable too. These people that are giving skating lessons, some of these people that are coaches, right? I
Yeah.
see it firsthand. I see it every week. They can't even skate themselves.
No, it's
And
hilarious.
then they're teaching these young kids how to skate, and it's
Hedges.
by the time they're 15, they're brutal because
Oh, they're
they've
like
been
this. Like their top part of their
yeah.
body moves and their legs just go another direction.
Like I said before, just like real hockey people. I mean, especially here, I don't know how it is everywhere else.
Nah, it's obsolete. Besides, like, there's like a group that does like a training facility. That's like the only legit thing
Yeah,
we
it's just
got.
a
Besides
dying
that,
breed.
like the teams obsolete. But like you got these two guys, Elevate. They're gonna come on like the local big time podcast, but um, yeah, they have like you've probably seen them. They made like the NHL Network. They do all this crazy stick tricks and
Yeah,
like it's Torrey Mitchell and Pete Lennis, and Torrey played in the NHL. And both of them played at UVM, so like really knowledgeable.
yeah,
And
awesome.
they got the UVM ex head hockey coach on their staff, and they got like BioSteel behind them, so they're crushing it. And like
Yeah,
they are like growing the game in Vermont, but like all the kids just leave after like middle school. It
yeah,
sucks because it's like accelerated even more because if your parents like super crazy, you got to get out by like middle school.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, like guys like that, though, like they're doing it for the right reasons, and they obviously have the knowledge and the background to do it the right way.
Yeah, they're
Um,
legit. Like, but the parents, like, you see the clinics that the parents put on. They're like showing them the crossovers, and their skates are like holding on by a thread.
yeah,
They got the ugliest bucket while they do it, and like,
yeah. They dusted it off from high school, and they were playing deck hockey. It's like a Mylick. It's like something from
with
from
the
like
earpieces
1980.
attached to the
Yeah.
helmet. It's all one. Looks like a ski helmet.
Oh,
That's
um,
literally what it is, a ski helmet.
it
But yeah.
aggravates the hell out of me, man.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I got a good rant. It's
Yeah,
uh
sure.
It's basically from my time here at the with the iTunes store. It got me thinking a lot because of the problem not being solved. Got me thinking, does IT ever solve any problems ever? And when I started thinking about that, it made so much sense. No, they don't. They don't do anything. I swear they just make it worse. Like uh they just make you, for starters, first thing they always ask, okay, let's turn it off. Like, okay, do you really think turning it on and off, that's like your genius idea? Like, that's gonna start, like let's turn on and off the car and make sure your flat tire works. Like,
Yeah,
what? Like, no, that's just a bunch of bullshit to just buy time. And then they go, okay, let's go to settings. Okay, does it say troubleshoot? Yep, okay, click on that. Okay, did anything happen? No. Like, every time, nothing happens. That's why I never report, like, the stupid problem. And then like okay, well, what's your hard drive say? It's like this and this. Okay, well, let me transfer you to this department. And then like you just go in this circle of just listening to like
always.
bad
Always.
transfer music.
Yeah,
And then the guy and then they end you with a, okay, well, let me submit a ticket for you.
yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah,
Thanks.
where are these tickets?
Where are the tickets? And you
Wait.
like you're talking to somebody probably on the other side of the country too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100% other
Yeah.
side of the
So
country.
it's not even like you could like go to like a store or something and take care of it. Yeah, well, even going into like a Verizon or an AT&T store, which I've done on multiple occasions, and I
I got a
never
bone to
leave
pick with
there.
them too.
I never leave there satisfied or with the problem fixed.
No. Like my phone, like I or how about like to get it replaced is like the biggest
Yeah.
headache
Yeah.
ever.
Yep.
Like, oh, you have the warranty? Yeah, why do we pay $5 for it? Ooh, doesn't cover this phone. You're like, okay, why didn't you just tell me that before we bought the
I
insurance?
actually one time I think it was my senior year at Gunnery. I was going to a split season game by myself at like, dude, like stupid early, like 5:30, 6 in the morning. And my phone like just wouldn't like I
Shit the
didn't have
bed.
service anywhere. Like I just couldn't get service on my phone. And then it's like locked up. So I'm literally driving. I'm in the middle. You know how it is in New England. Like you can
Oh
be
yeah.
in the town and then 5 minutes.
Unmarked roads everywhere.
Yeah, right. So I was going to Boston, I think, and I'm like in the middle. I'm not even like 30, 40 minutes away from school. And where I went to school, we talked about this before, it's just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I had no
Fields
GPS.
and
I couldn't
roads.
call or text anybody. So I'm basically just like looking for civilization.
Where's the North Star?
Yeah. So I finally find this Verizon place, and mind you, like I have a game to get to.
Yeah.
Go in there. They gave me the circus act. Didn't get a phone. I go back in the car. My phone's on. It's working. Worked for 15 minutes. Off. Next Verizon store. Gave me the circus act. Phone still wasn't working. I grab a map from like a road stop. So where I'm driving by myself to this. I've never looked at a map in my life, trying to figure out where I am.
Oh
And
God.
finally, I get to the rink, and the game is over, whatever. So then I go to one of my teammates to the Verizon store, and it was the same thing. I was probably there. I was late to study hall. That's how long I was there.
Oh, you had your name put down on the iPad like 30 times.
Yeah, exactly. I was calling. This is how bad it got. I was calling the school from the landline in the Verizon store in Woburn, Massachusetts, wherever I was. Yeah,
Riley's
I'm
gonna
gonna be
be
late.
late.
I'm gonna be really late. Verizon people, I'm gonna close out the store tonight here with them probably. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
It looks like they were starting it for the 100th time.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think that's just how it always. No one is ever helpful at any of these
I would
places.
love to know an IT person. Let me. I would love to know if we are on to something. Please let it be known because I don't want to waste my time anymore. It's the worst. It's so annoying. They don't fix anything. Like even like you go to school, you're like, yeah, it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi. They just like open up 100 windows and like, yeah, you're probably gonna need a landline. So provide that.
There were kids like I went to school with that knew more than like the IT guy that was where our IT guy at school. Like our IT guy at school was shot. So like if I ever had a problem, I would like go to these kids and like order them Chinese food like for the night and just tell them like, listen, like this is my problem, and they'd be fixed in 15
Oh yeah.
minutes.
How about our IT guy worked at the cafeteria before? Like he was like, dude, weren't you the guy making me sloppy joes, and now you're helping me with the Wi-Fi? like,
Yeah.
like no shit, nothing gets done here. That's the end of our show. Riley, any last thoughts?
Oh man, always a pleasure. So that was a pretty good one, man. I'm glad I got that youth hockey story off my chest. It's been had me rattled for a while. It's probably gonna be having me rattled for a lot longer too. I can't wait till next Saturday.
Yeah, the parents for youth hockey are the worst. They'll just give you gray hairs for no reason, and you got to start using that COVID line next time. Oh shit, you're a ref though. That wouldn't work. I had a buddy who coached youth hockey. He forgot to like remind his kids like when the game was.
Yeah.
So he goes, listen, he's like, fuck that. There's like $1,000 fine for cancellations. So he's like, fuck that. He calls in. He goes, yeah, one of the kids tested positive for COVID. He goes, yeah, I'm sorry. You know how it is. It's just in the air. Everyone's getting it these days. He's like, so like that's how like he wheezed himself out of like the $1,000 fine. And then he calls up the parents. He goes, yeah. He goes, hey, because of FERPA. He goes, watch this. Calls up the parents. He goes, yeah. He goes, some kid on the other team tested positive. Like, just blame the other team.
Well, last thing closing here. The best line I ever, and this came from my dad, and I really don't pump his tires too often, but the best youth hockey moment and like line that I ever heard in my life. There was this kid I played with growing up. He was brutal. He was on the fourth line, crazy dad, and he wanted to have a meeting with my dad about why his son was on the fourth line. So he literally sat down with my dad and he literally looked at my dad and said, why is so and so on the fourth line? My dad looked right at him and he said, I don't have a fifth line. Meeting's over.
Oh, that's
So good.
painful. I got a great youth hockey story. We might have to touch this topic on next episode. Great youth hockey stories.
Can't wait.
But yeah, this isn't. I wasn't there for this one. Actually, no, I wasn't there for this one. But this is from my buddy, and I know the kid because I used to play with him too. Like I know the parents, so like as soon as he said it, I'm like, you don't need to fact check this. It's 100% accurate, right? So this is like the team that I was on. I don't know why. I might have not been there. It might have been like the year after or like the year before. But this was like the same group of guys that I played with, and so they're like the Hartford, Vermont. So for like people that don't know, it's like middle of nowhere, like all the way down south, and the rink is like a tin can. It's like so cold. Whatever the temp is inside, it is outside. It's got sheet metal for like bleachers,
Oh, beautiful.
and you got on one side it's just stands, and then right across from it, that's where the benches are. Like real old school setup, like super cold. Like so basically, you just face all the parents. So and you know how youth hockey refs are. They're like the worst, right? So naturally, the refs are just struggling. So uh, during like one of the like offsides or something, one of the parents goes, "You fucking suck." So the ref, he's just like had enough of like all the parents like give him shit. So he just blows the whistle and he goes, "Whoever said that can go." And it just goes dead silent. And then my buddy's dad just holds up his middle finger. He goes, "You out of there!" He just, like it's dead silent. No one's saying everything, and he just gives him the bird. He's the only guy that just stands up. He goes, "You out of there!" He just takes off.
Waiting for someone to move. That's so good.
Ah, like the way he tells it too is just so funny because it is like, he's like, "You fucking suck." He goes, "Whoever said that can leave." Everyone's turning, like looking around to like see like who's gonna stand up for it, and you just see this guy just lift his hand up, just give them praise. "You get out of there!" He comes back like 20 minutes later at the top of the bleachers in the other corner.
Yeah.
Oh God, but yeah, we're gonna have to circle back because now this is making me think of a lot of good youth hockey stories. I got some on the road trips. Parents used to get hammered drunk, hammered.
Yep.
You'd see them the next day at 9 a.m. They're just struggling with a cup of coffee, like limping to the morning game.
So wounded. Yep.
Fuck.